Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to this practice. My name is Kelsey and today, the day that this practice is going live on my channel, is actually my 26th birthday. I'm very excited and honored to be able to share a practice with you on my birthday. I want to think of this as a little gift to you, and this practice is going to feature some of my favorite yin yoga poses. So yin is my favorite style of yoga asana to practice. It has always resonated with me to move slowly, to kind of hang out in a pose for a little while and feel all of the different elements of that pose, and then to really just go inward and to be introspective during my yoga practice. So that is what this practice is all about today. If you happen to have clicked on this video and it is your birthday today, happy birthday. I hope that you have a beautiful birthday and that you enjoy this practice and that it gives you a wonderful start to a wonderful day. With all of that said, I am using a couple of props today. I have my blocks, I have a bolster, and we're going to get started in square pose. So square pose is part of the shoelace archetype, which means that you can start by crossing at your shins first. This might be a more comfortable variation of this pose for your knees or your hips. You could draw one heel closer in towards your groin and stack that other heel in front of it. You could also stack your shins on top of one another. So this is generally what people think of whenever they think of square pose, but in yin yoga we work in archetypes, so you can start where I started with you, or you can make your way into this variation. And we're going to just have our props ready for us off to the side, but we'll begin in a neck release. So with your left leg on bottom or closest towards you, depending on the variation of square that you took, you're going to let your right ear drop down towards your right shoulder so that you're opening along the left side of your neck and along the left side of your body. You can close your eyes here, soften through your jaw, soften along your neck and your shoulders. Soften into your hips. Notice how you're feeling in this first pose. And how does your breath feel? Maybe you start to deepen your breath a little bit, making your inhales a little bit longer and your exhales a little bit longer. Soften your jaw a little bit more. Notice if more tension has crept up anywhere. And then we're going to let this neck release take us into a twisted forward fold. So you're going to start to let your left shoulder drift towards your right knee. Bring your hands to frame your right knee and left foot if you're in square. And then from here, you can just keep your arms extended and your hands on the ground and maybe let your head be heavy. Or if you do have props, like I do, you can bring them underneath your forearms so that you're able to soften a little bit closer towards the ground here. Again, head can be heavy. Breathe into your left side body. And notice how this different variation of a forward fold feels in your hips and your lower back. Whenever I think of birthdays or my birthday, I really like to just consider it as almost like a personal new year. Another trip around the sun has completed in my life, or if it's your birthday when you're watching this, in your life. And so it's a great time to reflect on what has happened over the last year, to release anything that you don't want to carry with you anymore, and to start to plant the seeds of intention for a new year cycle, a new year of your life. Take another breath in here. Exhale, lift your head. Begin to bring your hands either to the floor or to the props and press down to rise up and come back to facing forward. Now from here, I'm going to move my props off to the side and we'll shift over to the left hip so that we can bend the right knee back. So the right knee is now pointing towards the shorter edge of my mat, the bottom area of my mat, and my legs are in this zigzag shape for a twisted deer. So grab either your bolster or your blocks, or if you don't have any of these props, just bring your hands over to the left, twisting over your left thigh away from your right thigh. Use a breath in to lengthen, and a breath out to maybe just soften into your shoulders, or maybe lower down to your forearms. Maybe you let your head rest down on the prop. You can let the left side of your head rest down on the prop if that's more comfortable in your neck, or you can let the right side of your head rest down on the prop. And this will just bring the twist into your neck. And then begin to breathe and let go in this pose. And take another breath in. Exhale. Bring your hands under your body and let that help you press the earth away. Come back to upright. And you can extend your legs out in front of you for a moment, maybe lean back on your hands and just alternate the bend of your knees, bounce it out, windshield wiper your toes, and just release in the hips and the legs. And then we'll make our way to those same poses, but just doing them on the opposite side. So we started with the left leg on bottom. So this time, as you come into your variation of square, again, either crossing at the shins, stacking the heels in front of one another, or stacking the shins on top of one another, it's going to be the left leg on top. And if you want to go ahead and set your blocks up so you already know where we're going, since we did this before on the other side, but just so the blocks are there ready for you, we're going to now let the left ear drop down towards the left shoulder, softening through your jaw, the muscles of your face, and around your neck. Notice if you could soften in any other spaces, or if tension begins to creep back into the jaw and the neck, softening there. Take another breath in. Exhale, let this guide you into the twisted fold. So start to lean your right shoulder towards your left knee. Either bring your hands to the floor to frame your left knee, or bring blocks under your forearms and fold over your left thigh and your left knee. Your head can be heavy. Breathe into the spaces that you feel this the most. Every exhale, letting go of a little bit of resistance or tension in your body. Another thing that I like to focus on around my birthday is what I'm grateful for. Bringing my awareness to the little things in my life that bring me contentment and joy. I truly believe that cultivating gratitude creates space for even more gratitude. It's like I'm saying thank you in advance for all of the abundance that is going to come into my life in this next year. Take another breath in. Exhale, lift your head and start to come out of that forward fold slowly and mindfully. Once again, you can scoot your props that you were using out of the way and set up for the twisted deer. So if you're using a bolster or some other prop, bring it over to your right hip this time and lean over to your right hip to swing the left leg around, so your left knee is pointing now more so towards the bottom edge of your mat or the shorter edge of your mat, and you have a zigzag shape in your legs, and then you'll bring your hands over to the right, twisting over your right thigh. Use an inhale to lengthen, and exhale, melt into the twist. Maybe onto your forearms, maybe onto the support of a prop. Every breath in, feeling the space in your ribs and your back. Every breath out, softening a little bit more. And I think that around our birthdays, it's also really supportive to practice non-attachment. So birthdays can also be a reminder of the passage of time, of how things change and are not permanent. And we may have goals or intentions for the next year of our life. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they will happen. It's a good time to practice having those intentions and putting in the effort to create a life that you want, but not being so attached to the outcome that you make yourself unhappy in the process. And take another breath in. Exhale, bring your hands under you to rise up and away from the support. And now for these next several poses, you'll want to either grab a pillow, or if you do have your props, you can use those as well. And we're going to come into a half saddle. So turn to face one of the shorter edges of the mat and bring up your pillow, your blocks, your bolster right back beneath you. So if the bolster, you're going to make sure it comes right up to your lower back so that you have the length of the bolster to recline down over. And then we're going to extend the left leg and bend the right knee and bring the right foot next to the right hip. Now, if you find that your knee is lifting up here or it's putting too much pressure on the knee joint, you don't have to do this. You can kind of take like a half deer. This is actually a deeper internal rotation of the thigh, and so it might not feel as good in your hip, but it is going to take the pressure out of the knee. If neither of those options work, you can just extend both of your legs. So either in half saddle or half deer, and then recline down over whatever prop you're using. And feel that big stretch into the front of your right thigh. And this opening into your chest. Soften through the legs and your hips. Breathe into your lower belly and your ribs. Take one more breath in the pose. And exhale. To come out of this pose, I like to bring my elbows next to me and then to dig my elbows down to lift up. And then I can start to walk onto my hands to lift all the way up. We're just going to do that on the other side. So lean over to your left hip to extend your right leg. Release in any way that feels good, maybe bouncing out your knees. And then just lean over to your right hip, swing the left leg around. Again, you can take a half deer instead of a half saddle, or you can just extend both legs and recline down for the other side. Focusing on the steady rhythm of your breath. feeling your breath in your ribs and in your lower abdomen. Come back to your breath. Again, dig down into your elbows to lift yourself back up. Lean to your right hip to extend your left leg long. Alternate the bend of your knees. And then from here, we'll come around into a tabletop pose to get into our last pose before Shavasana. Widening your knees about the distance of your mat, big toes touch, hips can go back towards your heels. And then today I'm going to use the bolster underneath my chest, but if you don't have any props nearby, you don't have to. But I'm going to bring the bolster between my knees, between my thighs, and then lower my chest down and lay one side of my head down onto the prop. Soften into your shoulders. Feel the stretch into your hips, your glutes, your lower back. Knowing that after this pose, we're going to make our way into Shavasana. Beginning to wrap up your practice, acknowledging any wisdom that you have reflected on from your years past. Any lessons learned, feelings of gratitude, non-attachment. And take another breath in. Exhale, lift your head, press into the tops of your feet to come forward into table again. And then from here, you can scoot your props off to the side, turn yourself around, come to lay down to a flat back in constructive rest pose. And today your Shavasana might be as simple as this, just reclining down to a flat back, soles of your feet connected to the earth for grounding. Or you could extend your legs long. If you do have a pillow or a bolster, you might like to bring it underneath your knees, like so. And this just allows for your back to rest a little bit more neutrally on your mat. Your hands can rest wherever's comfortable for you. Close your eyes. Soften your breath. And enjoy this time of rest. Remaining just as you are, bring more awareness to your breath. As you feel ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Wake your body up with little movements. Maybe take one more big full body stretch. Breathe in. And exhale to let it all go. Bring your knees into your body. Give yourself a hug. Rock a little bit side to side. And you can let that rocking motion land you onto your right side. You can use your right arm like a pillow for a moment. And take this time to acknowledge the transition between who you were as you began this practice and who you are as you end this practice. Take another breath in. Exhale, start to come up to a comfortable seat. I'll meet you there. Whenever you arrive in your seat, sit up tall, soften your eyes, or close your eyes again. And acknowledge the impact of your practice on you today. And we'll close by bringing the palms together in front of the heart space. And we bow forward and say, Namaste. Thank you so much again for joining me today for this practice. Let me know how it went for you in the comments down below. I truly hope that it served you well. And again, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. I put out new practices just like this every single Sunday. So I hope to see you there. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.